Okay, the most overpowered hero I have heard has ever been released to Raid Shadow Legends is here, and it is a Void Legendary, wouldn't you know it. Now, the only thing I know about this is from a fellow content creator laughing and basically telling me that the kit is hilarious, so I'm excited to see it. I am of the opinion that overpowered heroes are going to consistently be coming out ever since Safety, hell, ever since Torment. We're aware of this, so I'm just here for the good time and the laugh at it. Let's take a look here. The basic attack attacks an enemy twice. Each hit steals 7.5% of the target's turn meter if they have 50% HP or more. Each hit heals this champion 30% of the damage inflicted if this champion has less than 50% HP. So, pretty good basic right off the bat. That's 15% target turn meter steal, not just removal on the basic. Obviously, that's going to pair hilariously well with chargers. Let's move on to the second move here. Destiny's Mirror attacks an enemy, 80% chance of placing Hex debuff for 3 turns. They are really trying to just grab Hex by the balls and shove it down everyone's throat. They want us all to have Hex. Passive effect. Whenever an enemy tries to place a debuff on this champion or an ally, 55% chance of transferring those debuffs to a random enemy under Hex debuff placed by this champion. This happens before any debuffs are placed on the initial target. Insane. So essentially stun, all of that type of stuff can go right back on the other people. 30% chance instead against bosses. If somebody fills the turn meter of an enemy under a Hex debuff placed by this champion's turn meter will be filled instead. So it just straight up stops the enemy from granting turn meter. I'm sure Arena is gonna love this. Only available when the Fox Hunter is on the same team, so it is one of those duos. Now, this was the only move I knew out of the kit because Chosen told me and we were laughing about. It decreases the cooldown of all ally skills by 3 turns and increases the cooldown of all enemy skills by 3 turns. Will not decrease the cooldown of this champion's skills. AKA, this hero has Warlord's A3 and Kaimar's A3 in just one ability. Completely disgusting. I mean, probably the most overpowered move I've seen in a long time, right up to Sifi's A2. Moving on, this is a passive, places a perfect veil buff on this champion 2 turns at the start of each round. The champion's immune to all debuffs. If they're under Veil or Perfect Veil, there, if you have a Duchess or something, Veils everybody up, suddenly this person's immune to literally everything. Whenever a Veil or Perfect buff is placed on an enemy, 75% chance of stealing the buff. So it even counters that. This hero is obviously going to be nuts, absolutely nuts. It only happens when it's paired with the Fox Hunter. There are other legendaries, but we're only talking about the OP one. So let's look at the Fox Hunter, who is the pairing. The basic attack hits 3 times. I like triple hits. That's going to be a Giant Slayer hero. Each hit has a 20% chance of placing 25% weakened. So we got weakened right in the basic. A2 places a stun debuff for 2 turns, grants an extra turn, and resets the cooldown of this skill if Yumeko is on the same team and this kills an enemy. So basically, you can do the Goomba Stomp effect. I don't find that terribly impressive. It is a 100% chance to place the stun debuff. Attacks all enemies, 80% chance of placing block active skills debuff. This will go to 100% chance for 2 turns, and it can't be resisted if Yumi is on the same team. Okay, can't be resisted is busted in Arena as well. We can see where they're going with this. You stop their cooldowns, and then you block them from even happening. Damage inflicted by this champion cannot be decreased by enemy passive skills or masteries, except by the passive skill of bosses. Damage inflicted by this champion cannot be increased by either this champion's masteries or ally passives. Whenever Yumi dies, instantly grants bonus to this damage and resets the cooldown of this champion's skills. So, from what I understand, defense breaking type of stuff will work with this ability. However, flat damage increase does not. However, Giant Slayer does, if that makes sense. Okay, so yeah, that's hilarious. In my personal opinion, this looks very Arena viable. I mean, the second guy, yeah, sure, whatever. But look at this first hero. This hero right here, Yumeko, I think how you do it. Shadowkin, Glad Shadowkin. 15% stealing of the turn meter. I mean, really, it's all about this move. Let's be honest. It's all about this move. Decreases the ally cooldowns of all skills. You basically get a Kaimar built right in. And if you can decrease the skill cooldown of somebody who resets skill cooldown paired together, this is going to be hilarious in PvE. I can't wait to see people who have the non-stop charge teams. they're going to get a ton of money for this hero for sure. I couldn't imagine if they took this hero and stuck this into like one of the world overarching champion chase tournaments where the #1 player gets one of these or something. You're going to see people spend hundreds of thousands of dollars just for this one dumb hero, and then this hero is going to be replaced by somebody else in about a year. Love y'all. That's my opinion on this hero. Looks disgusting.